And this is the astrological forecast for the sign of Scorpio for 2024. It's going to be a busy one for the majority of you. Okay, along with your opposite sign of Taurus, certainly the first half of the year is going to be really busy. The second half of the year isn't a slouch either. So you're going to need to be a little bit Teflon coated and you're going to need to get your skates on. But it shouldn't be too bad for the majority of you. So let's crunch the numbers. The sun will move into Scorpio a day earlier than normal because we're in a leap year. So the sun will move into Scorpio on the 22nd of October. And the annual Scorpio new moon will take place on the 1st of November in 2024. And the annual Scorpio full moon will take place on the 23rd of April. And it will be a partial eclipse. Not a big deal. Mercury will move into Scorpio on the 13th of October and it will leave on the 2nd of November. Venus will move into Scorpio on the 23rd of September and leave on the 17th of October. Mars is not looking at Scorpio seriously over this coming year. He will not be journeying through your sign. Jupiter is going to be knocking a few of you about. If you're born on or after the 28th of October, then between the start of the year and the 25th of May, Jupiter will pass opposite your sun. So this is the vast majority of you. Jupiter opposite your sun isn't that big a deal, but it can lead to a few days where situations get out of control, larger than life, over the top, mountains made out of molehills, things blown out of proportion. Things can escalate or accelerate in a way that's, in retrospect, is a storm in a teacup. But it'd be easy to let what is merely a drama become a crisis. Saturn is definitely being your friend in 2024. How often do you hear me say that? If you're born between the 26th of October and the 3rd of November, then the first 11 or 12 weeks of this year are a time when Saturn will be trining your sun. This means that you should have the ability to bring a lot more structure, boundary, effort, self-discipline and focus into whatever it is that you're doing. Self-discipline will pay off. And this will also work for those of you born from the 4th to the 11th of November, from late March onwards, when Saturn will then spend 9 months trining your sun, giving those people born from the 4th to the 11th of November a 9-month period where you can work in a diligent, effective, efficient, steady, stable and consistent way that's going to put the effort in and get the results out. So it's a good time for Saturn with you over the coming year. Uranus will be opposite the Sun of about a quarter of you over this coming year. And this is going to take place in 2 separate swathes. Those of you born from the 11th to the 15th of November, you have had Uranus opposite your Sun over this last 6 months, and this is still going on. And this will continue through to the middle of May. From mid-May onwards, Uranus will be opposite the Sun of those of you born from the 15th to the 18th of November. So, Uranus opposite your Sun, no one gets away with this one. This brings change. Now, change can be disruptive, chaotic, dramatic, sudden and unpredictable. It can also be stimulating, innovative, original, exciting and adventurous, with words like independence, freedom and liberty. But in order to make the most of Uranus's change, one has to be willing to adapt. And the thing about Scorpio is that it can be quite stubborn. So for some of you, change is coming. So you will either act or you will react. Up to you. Neptune is going to be smiling on a number of you. Neptune is finishing between now, the start of the year and mid-March, its year-long, sometimes 2-year-long trine to those of you born on the 16th, 17th, 18th of November. And then from mid-March onwards, Neptune will be trining the sun of those of you born on the 19th, 20th, 21st of November. And this is lovely because this brings, it's not exciting, but it brings a capacity for compassion, empathy, spirituality, artistry, music, kindness, a good relationship with the divine, however you see the divine as being. And it's not a bad influence at all. It's to be welcomed. This brings me to Pluto. Pluto is going to be affecting those of you born at the very start of Scorpio and the very end of Scorpio. If you're one of those people born at the very end of Scorpio, i.e. around the 21st of November, then Pluto is going to be sextiling your sun over the whole of this coming year. So this is a wonderful opportunity for personal growth, self-development, psychological transformation, self-exploration, and digging deep into what it is that really makes you tick. Whereas if you're born at the very start of Scorpio, i.e. the 23rd, 24th of October, Pluto will be squaring your sun over the coming year. And this is where you're going to be kind of forced into going into the caves at the bottom of your soul and digging up a lot of the old poison and the old memories. And if you do it willingly, it will still hurt, but you'll be able to cleanse and purge and purify and detox. And if you do it unwillingly, well, it's going to hurt even more. No one gets away with Pluto. You might as well feel the fear and do it anyway and come out of it psychologically invulnerable, as opposed to being dragged kicking and screaming through it. For all of you, the period of, well, Scorpio really, from say the 14th of October through to about the 17th of November, you've got the Sun and Mercury and Venus all opposite Uranus. But it's not a year of single-minded actions. It's not a year of specific events or challenges or difficulties. It is a year of, on the one hand, yes, a lot of challenge, especially with Uranus opposite the Sun, of those of you born in the last 10 days of Scorpio, and Pluto squaring the Sun of those of you born at the very start of Scorpio. And of course, Jupiter opposite your Sun in the first 5 months of the year is an inconvenience. But Neptune is trining the Sun of a lot of you, and Saturn is being your friend over 2024. So, as far as 24 goes, Scorpio, as I say, it's not a year of massive actions and big changes or big decisions, or for a few of you, yes. But it is a year of steady, stable, consistent movement forward for many of you. And my advice to most of you, apart from those of you born in the last week of Scorpio, is to keep your nose to the grindstone and just keep going. Only those of you with Uranus opposite your Sun will need to make some changes. So for all of you, as far as 2024 goes, Scorpio, for the majority of you at least, have a steady, stable and consistent year.